The stolen antimatter reactor became the center of a global manhunt. As news of the theft leaked, it created a whirlwind of speculation and fear. Governments denied any knowledge of the incident, while conspiracy theories thrived. The rogue agents had become the most wanted individuals on Earth, with their faces plastered on every news outlet and social media platform. The agents knew they couldn't stay hidden forever. They needed to find a safe place to lay low and figure out their next move. They decided to split up, each taking a different route to confuse their pursuers. The leader, still clutching the reactor, fled to a remote, abandoned warehouse on the outskirts of a small town. He knew they couldn't trust anyone, not even their contacts in the underworld. While hiding, the leader began to feel the immense pressure of their situation. He had always believed in the cause, but now, with the weight of the world's attention on them, doubt began to creep in. He couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched, even in this isolated location. As he tinkered with the reactor, trying to understand its intricacies, he couldn't help but wonder if they had made a terrible mistake. Meanwhile, his fellow agents were experiencing their own challenges. One of them, a brilliant hacker, sought refuge in a digital safe house, using their skills to cover their tracks and monitor the global search efforts. Another, a former intelligence officer, navigated the treacherous underworld, seeking allies and resources while constantly evading capture. Each agent knew that their success depended on their ability to stay one step ahead of their enemies. As the days turned into weeks, the leader discovered a hidden message within the reactor's design. The Zentari had left a series of encrypted instructions, detailing how the reactor could be used not just as a power source, but as a means of transportation across vast distances. It was a game-changing revelation, one that could alter the balance of power on Earth and beyond. The leader realized that the reactor was far more than they had originally thought. It wasn't just a tool for generating energy, it was a gateway to other worlds. The potential applications were staggering, from interstellar travel to instantaneous communication. But with this discovery came an even greater risk. If the wrong people gained control of the reactor, the consequences could be catastrophic. Determined to protect the reactor and its secrets, the leader contacted the remaining agents. They needed to regroup and formulate a new plan. They couldn't let the reactor fall into the hands of those who would exploit its power for their own gain. Despite their differences and the growing tension among them, the agents agreed to reunite. Their reunion was fraught with mistrust and uncertainty. Each agent had their own vision for the future, and their previous mission had tested their loyalty to the breaking point. But they knew that they needed to work together if they were to have any hope of success. The leader shared the encrypted message with the group, revealing the reactor's true potential. The agents realized that their mission had taken on a new dimension. They were no longer just thieves on the run. They were the guardians of a technology that could change the fate of humanity. Their goal was no longer just to escape with their lives. They needed to find a way to secure the reactor and prevent it from being used for malevolent purposes. They decided to seek out the help of a rogue Zentari scientist who had previously defected to Earth. This scientist had a deep understanding of the reactor's technology and could help them unlock its full potential while ensuring its safe use. The journey to find this scientist would be perilous, requiring them to navigate both human and alien dangers. As they set out on their quest, the agents knew that they were embarking on a mission that would test their skills, their resolve, and their very humanity. The stakes were higher than ever, and the future of both Earth and the Zentari civilization hung in the balance. With the reactor in their possession, they held the power to reshape the world, or destroy it. As the agents delved deeper into their mission, they faced a myriad of challenges. They had to stay constantly on the move, shifting from one safe house to another, always wary of being tracked. The leader, now burdened with the knowledge of the reactor's true potential, felt the weight of responsibility growing heavier with each passing day. Their search for the rogue Zentari scientist led them through treacherous territories. They navigated dense forests, barren deserts, and remote mountain ranges, always staying one step ahead of their pursuers. Along the way, they encountered remnants of old alliances and made new ones, forming a network of support that was as fragile as it was essential. In one particularly daring move, they infiltrated a high-security Zentari outpost to gather crucial information. The outpost, a towering structure bristling with advanced technology, was heavily guarded. The agents used their stealth suits and cunning tactics to bypass the defenses, slipping into the heart of the facility. There, they found a cache of encrypted data that hinted at the whereabouts of the rogue scientist. With this new information, they embarked on a perilous journey to a hidden Zentari enclave deep within the mountains. The enclave, shrouded in secrecy and protected by natural barriers, was a last refuge for those who sought to escape the control of both their own kind and the humans. The journey tested their endurance and resolve, pushing them to their limits. Upon reaching the enclave, they were met with suspicion and hostility. The Zentari, wary of outsiders, especially humans, were reluctant to offer assistance. It took all of the leaders' diplomacy and the agents' collective skills to convince the Zentari elders of their intentions. Slowly, trust began to build, and they were granted an audience with the rogue scientist. The scientist, an enigmatic figure with piercing eyes and a calm demeanor, listened intently as the leader recounted their mission and discoveries. The scientist, intrigued by the reactor's potential and the agent's determination, agreed to help. Together, they began the arduous task of deciphering the reactor's complex mechanisms and unlocking its full capabilities. As they worked, the bond between the agents and the Zentari grew stronger. They learned to appreciate each other's strengths and differences, forging a partnership that transcended their initial mistrust. The scientist revealed secrets about the reactor's origin and purpose, explaining how it could open pathways to other worlds and dimensions. However, their newfound alliance was soon put to the test. A faction within the enclave, fearing that the reactor's power would bring destruction, sought to sabotage their efforts. The agents and their Zentari allies had to fend off attacks and navigate internal politics, all while racing against time to complete their mission. As the final pieces of the puzzle fell into place, they realized that the reactor held the key to not just technological advancement, but to a deeper understanding of the universe itself. The pathways it could open were not merely physical, but also intellectual and spiritual. It was a tool that could unite or divide, heal or destroy, depending on how it was used. In a climactic moment, the agents and the scientists succeeded in stabilizing the reactor and preparing it for its first test. The atmosphere was charged with anticipation and uncertainty. As they activated the reactor, a shimmering portal began to form, its edges crackling with energy. The possibilities it represented were both exhilarating and terrifying. The leader, standing at the threshold of the portal, felt a surge of hope and fear. They had come so far and sacrificed so much, but the journey was far from over. The portal was a gateway to the unknown, and what lay beyond could change the course of history for both humans and Zentari. With a deep breath, the leader stepped forward, followed by the rest of the team. Together, they ventured into the portal, embracing the unknown and the endless possibilities it held. Their mission had evolved into something far greater than they had ever imagined, and their story was just beginning. As they stepped through the shimmering portal, the agents and their Zentari allies were enveloped in a whirlwind of light and energy. The sensation was both disorienting and exhilarating, as if they were being stretched and compressed simultaneously. When they emerged on the other side, they found themselves in a realm that defied all their expectations. The landscape was an amalgamation of alien and familiar elements. Towering crystalline structures pierced the sky, their surfaces reflecting a kaleidoscope of colors. Strange flora, glowing with bioluminescence, dotted the terrain, casting an ethereal light. The air was filled with the hum of unseen energies, and the ground beneath their feet seemed to pulse with life. The team stood in awe, their eyes wide with wonder. This was a world beyond their wildest dreams, a place where the boundaries of reality were fluid and ever-changing. The rogue scientist, who had stepped through the portal with them, began to take readings, his instruments buzzing with excitement. He explained that this realm was a nexus of sorts, a convergence point of multiple dimensions and realities. As they explored this new world, they encountered beings unlike any they had ever seen. These entities, composed of pure energy and light, moved gracefully through the air, communicating through harmonic vibrations. The agents quickly realized that these beings were not hostile, but curious and welcoming. The leader, with a sense of cautious optimism, approached one of them, attempting to establish communication. To their surprise, the beings responded, their vibrations forming patterns that the scientist could decipher. The entities revealed that they were the guardians of this realm, tasked with maintaining the balance of the interdimensional pathways. They had been aware of the antimatter reactor and its potential for both creation and destruction. They expressed concern about its presence in the hands of beings who might not fully understand its power. The leader, feeling the weight of their mission, assured the Guardians that they sought to use the reactor responsibly. The Guardians, in turn, offered their assistance. They guided the team to a central nexus point, where the energies of the realm converged in a dazzling display of light. Here, the reactor could be stabilized and its full potential harnessed. As the team worked to integrate the reactor into the nexus, they learned more about the nature of this realm. It was a place of infinite possibilities, where the laws of physics were fluid and malleable. The scientist, fascinated by the discoveries, theorized that this realm could serve as a hub for instantaneous travel between distant worlds. The implications were staggering, offering the potential for unprecedented exploration and collaboration. However, not all was serene. As they delved deeper into the workings of the reactor, they uncovered a darker truth. The reactor's power had the potential to destabilize the delicate balance of the nexus, risking the collapse of the interdimensional pathways. The team faced a dilemma: how to harness the reactor's energy without endangering the realm and its guardians. The leader, driven by a sense of duty and responsibility, proposed a radical solution. They would create a symbiotic relationship between the reactor and the nexus, ensuring that the energy flow remained stable and balanced. The Guardians, impressed by their ingenuity and commitment, agreed to help. Over the following weeks, the team worked tirelessly, guided by the Guardians and the scientists' expertise. They developed a complex system of energy conduits and stabilizers, weaving the reactor's power into the very fabric of the realm. It was a delicate dance, requiring precision and cooperation, but slowly, they began to see results. The nexus thrived, its energies harmonizing with the reactor, creating a stable and powerful network of interdimensional pathways. The team celebrated their success, knowing that they had achieved something monumental. They had not only secured the reactor, but had also forged a bridge between worlds, paving the way for a new era of exploration and understanding. As they prepared to return to Earth, the Guardians bestowed upon them a parting gift, a crystal infused with the energies of the Nexus. This crystal, the Guardians explained, would serve as a key, allowing the team to access the interdimensional pathways whenever they needed. It was a symbol of trust and a promise of continued collaboration. With the crystal in hand and the reactor safely integrated, the team stepped back through the portal, ready to share their discoveries with the world. They knew that their journey had only just begun, and that the future held endless possibilities. They were no longer just rogue agents, they were pioneers, adventurers, and guardians of a new frontier. Upon returning to Earth, the agents and the rogue Zentari scientist found themselves in a world still reeling from the revelation of the antimatter reactor theft. The secret of their journey and the discoveries they made were too vital to be kept hidden any longer. They knew they had to share their findings with the world, but they also understood the risks involved. The information could lead to incredible advancements or catastrophic misuse. The team decided to approach an international scientific organization with a reputation for integrity and transparency. They presented their discoveries, including the crystal key that could open interdimensional pathways. The organization's leaders were initially skeptical, but were soon convinced by the tangible evidence and the detailed accounts of their journey. The revelation sent shockwaves through the scientific community and beyond. Governments and organizations worldwide scrambled to understand the implications of this new technology. The agents and the scientists became central figures in a global effort to study and harness the potential of the reactor and the interdimensional nexus. Conferences were held, collaborations formed, and new alliances forged in the wake of this unprecedented discovery. However, not everyone was enthusiastic about the new possibilities. Powerful factions, both in government and the private sector, saw the potential for control and profit. They sought to gain exclusive access to the technology, leading to a series of covert power struggles. The agents found themselves in the middle of a complex web of intrigue, facing threats from all sides. Despite the challenges, the team remained steadfast in their mission to ensure the technology was used for the greater good. They worked tirelessly with the scientific organization, sharing their knowledge and helping to develop safeguards to prevent misuse. They also continued to explore the interdimensional pathways, discovering new worlds and learning more about the Guardians and their purpose. In one of their explorations, the team stumbled upon a world that seemed eerily familiar. The landscape bore striking resemblances to Earth, yet it was different in subtle ways. The plants, the sky, even the animals had a slightly alien quality. They soon realized that this was an alternate version of Earth, a parallel reality where events had unfolded differently. This discovery opened up a new realm of possibilities. The existence of parallel realities suggested that there were countless versions of history, each with its own unique outcomes and lessons. The team understood that this knowledge could be both a blessing and a curse. It offered the chance to learn from other worlds and avoid their mistakes, but it also presented the danger of disrupting the delicate balance of these realities. The team decided to carefully document their findings and share them with the scientific organization. They emphasized the need for caution and respect for the integrity of these alternate worlds. The organization agreed, and together they established a set of ethical guidelines for interdimensional exploration. As the years passed, the antimatter reactor became a symbol of hope and progress. Its technology was used to develop new energy sources, improve transportation, and enhance communication. The interdimensional pathways facilitated unprecedented collaboration between scientists and explorers from different worlds. The Guardians, once wary of human intentions, became trusted allies, guiding the efforts to maintain balance and harmony. The agents, now celebrated as pioneers and visionaries, continued their work, driven by a sense of purpose and responsibility. They knew that their journey had only just begun, and that the reactor's true potential was still unfolding. The leader, reflecting on the incredible series of events, felt a deep sense of gratitude for the experiences and the bonds forged along the way. In the end, the story of the antimatter reactor became a testament to the power of collaboration, curiosity, and resilience. It was a reminder that even in the face of immense challenges, the human spirit could rise to meet them, forging a path toward a brighter future for all. Despite the breakthroughs they had made, the agents knew they had only scratched the surface of the reactor's potential. The technological advancements and the interdimensional pathways opened new frontiers for scientific exploration, but it also brought with it unforeseen challenges and ethical dilemmas. One of the most pressing issues was the impact of their discoveries on the political landscape. The power struggles that had erupted in the wake of the reactor's theft did not dissipate. They only grew more complex. Governments and powerful corporations vied for influence over the new technology, each seeking to leverage it for their own ends. The team found themselves navigating a treacherous world of espionage, diplomacy, and intrigue. In response to the mounting tensions, the International Scientific Organization convened a global summit. Representatives from every corner of the Earth, and even some Centauri envoys, gathered to discuss the future of the reactor and the interdimensional pathways. The summit was a landmark event, filled with heated debates and passionate speeches. The agents, as central figures in this drama, were called upon to share their experiences and insights. The leader of the team, now a seasoned diplomat, stood before the assembly and recounted their journey. He spoke of the risks and the rewards, the ethical considerations, and the need for responsible stewardship of this incredible technology. His words resonated with many, but there were still factions that sought to exploit the reactor for their own gain. Amidst the negotiations, an unexpected crisis arose. A rogue faction, disgruntled by the perceived slow progress and eager to seize control, launched a daring raid on the facility where the reactor was housed. Their objective was to capture the reactor and use it to establish their own power base. The agents, along with their allies, were thrust back into action. The battle that ensued was intense and chaotic. The rogue faction had come prepared, utilizing advanced weaponry and tactics. The agents, however, were not easily outmatched. They had spent years honing their skills and forging alliances. The Centauri Guardians, recognizing the threat to the interdimensional balance, lent their support, adding their unique abilities to the fray. In the midst of the conflict, the reactor's stability was threatened. The delicate balance they had worked so hard to maintain was at risk of collapsing, which could lead to catastrophic consequences not just for Earth, but for the interconnected realities. The leader, realizing the gravity of the situation, made a split-second decision. With the help of the rogue scientist and the Centauri Guardians, he initiated an emergency stabilization protocol. This maneuver required precise coordination and immense courage, as it involved manually interfacing with the reactor's core. The leader, risking his own life, entered the containment field and began the process. The room was filled with a blinding blue light as he worked tirelessly to stabilize the reactor. The battle raged on around them, but the agents and their allies fought with renewed determination, inspired by the leader's bravery. Slowly, the reactor's fluctuations began to subside, and the energies within it started to harmonize once more. The rogue faction, realizing their defeat, retreated, leaving behind a trail of chaos. With the reactor stabilized and the immediate threat neutralized, the summit resumed, this time with a renewed sense of purpose. The dramatic events had underscored the need for unity and cooperation. The leaders' selflessness and dedication had become a symbol of what was possible when humanity and the Zentari worked together. The summit concluded with the establishment of an international coalition dedicated to the responsible development and exploration of the reactor's technology and the interdimensional pathways. The agents were appointed as stewards of this coalition, tasked with overseeing its activities and ensuring that the technology was used for the benefit of all. As they continued their work, the agents reflected on their journey. They had started as rogues, driven by a mix of ambition and idealism, but they had evolved into pioneers and guardians of a new era. The reactor, once a source of conflict and fear, had become a beacon of hope and possibility. The future was uncertain, but they were ready to face it, armed with the knowledge that they could achieve great things through collaboration, courage, and a shared vision for a better world. In the not-so-distant future, Earth had established contact with an advanced alien civilization known as the Zentari. This collaboration was kept secret from the general public, and only a select few within the governments of Earth were privy to this knowledge. Deep underground, in a hidden facility that combined human and Zentari technology, a revolutionary piece of equipment was housed, an antimatter reactor, a device capable of providing almost limitless energy. The Zentari had entrusted this reactor to Earth scientists, who were to study and replicate its technology to benefit both civilizations. Amidst the secrecy and tension, a covert group of rogue agents, disillusioned with their government's intentions and hungry for power, hatched a plan to steal the reactor. They believed that with the reactor in their possession, they could either sell it to the highest bidder or use it to impose their own form of order on a chaotic world. These agents were skilled in espionage and had access to advanced stealth technology, making them almost invisible to both human and Zentari security systems. The night of the heist, the facility was quiet, save for the soft hum of the machinery. The rogue agents, clad in their sleek, black suits, moved with precision and purpose. They bypassed security checkpoints and surveillance cameras, their suits rendering them nearly undetectable. As they approached the reactor room, they could feel the tension in the air. The glowing blue light of the reactor cast eerie shadows on the walls, adorned with alien hieroglyphics that seemed to pulse with an otherworldly energy. Inside the reactor room, the agents worked quickly but cautiously. They knew that any mistake could trigger an alarm, bringing both human and Zentari forces down upon them. They deployed a series of advanced tools and devices, hacking into the reactor's containment field and disabling the security protocols one by one. The leader of the group, a former military officer turned rogue, kept a close eye on the progress, his mind racing with the possibilities that the reactor represented. As the final layer of security was breached, the containment field shimmered and dissolved, leaving the reactor suspended in midair. The rogue agents carefully detached it from its housing, the glowing blue light intensifying as they handled it. Sweat dripped down their faces, a mix of excitement and fear coursing through their veins. They knew that they were on the brink of either a monumental success or a catastrophic failure. With the reactor in their possession, the agents made their way back through the facility, their stealth suits cloaking them in darkness. Just as they reached the exit, an unexpected glitch in the security system triggered an alarm. Red lights flashed, and a blaring siren echoed through the corridors. The agents quickened their pace, adrenaline pumping as they raced against time. Human and Zentari guards converged on the facility, their weapons drawn and ready. The rogue agents, now fully exposed, fought their way through, using both their advanced technology and sheer determination. The clash of energies and the sounds of battle filled the underground complex, a testament to the high stakes of their mission. In a final desperate push, the rogue agents managed to reach the surface, where a disguised transport vehicle awaited them. They loaded the reactor and sped away, leaving chaos and confusion in their wake. The facility was left in disarray, the guards scrambling to understand what had just transpired. As the agents drove into the night, the leader glanced at the reactor, its blue light illuminating the interior of the vehicle. He knew that their journey was far from over. They had successfully stolen the reactor, but now they had to evade capture and decide the future of the powerful device in their possession. The world as they knew it was about to change, and they held the key to that change in their hands. Years passed, and the coalition flourished under the guidance of the agents and their Zentari allies. The antimatter reactor became a cornerstone of technological progress, driving advancements in energy production, transportation, and communication. Interdimensional exploration opened new avenues for scientific research, cultural exchange, and collaboration across worlds. The leader, now a respected figure in both human and Zentari societies, found himself at the forefront of these developments. He continued to champion the principles of responsible stewardship and ethical use of technology. The crystal key, symbolizing their journey and the partnership they had forged, remained a constant reminder of the potential and the responsibilities they carried. One day, the coalition received a distress signal from a distant world accessible through the interdimensional pathways. The signal indicated that the balance of that reality was being threatened by an unknown force. Recognizing the urgency, the agents prepared to embark on a new mission. They knew that their journey would be fraught with challenges, but they were ready to face them together. Upon arriving in the threatened world, they discovered a civilization on the brink of collapse. An ancient entity, long dormant, had awakened and was causing chaos. The entity's energy was destabilizing the interdimensional pathways, risking the integrity of the nexus and the interconnected realities. The agents knew that they had to act swiftly to prevent catastrophe. Working alongside the local inhabitants, they devised a plan to neutralize the entity. The rogue scientist, with his deep understanding of the reactor and the nexus, played a crucial role in developing a countermeasure. The Guardians, recognizing the gravity of the situation, lent their support, adding their unique abilities to the effort. The battle against the entity was fierce, testing the limits of their courage and ingenuity. The leader, drawing on the experiences and lessons of their past journey, led the charge. The combined efforts of the agents, the scientist, the Guardians, and the local inhabitants eventually succeeded in containing the entity and restoring balance to the world. With the immediate threat neutralized, the agents took time to help the local civilization rebuild and stabilize. They shared their knowledge and technology, fostering a spirit of cooperation and mutual respect. The inhabitants, grateful for the assistance, vowed to protect the interdimensional pathways and uphold the principles of harmony and balance. As the agents prepared to return to Earth, they reflected on the journey they had undertaken. They had evolved from a group of rogue agents into pioneers and guardians of a new era. Their adventures had taken them across worlds, each experience enriching their understanding and strengthening their resolve. Back on Earth, the leader addressed the global community, sharing the story of their latest mission and the importance of unity and responsibility. He spoke of the interconnectedness of all realities and the need to protect and cherish the fragile balance that allowed them to thrive. His words resonated deeply, inspiring a renewed commitment to collaboration and ethical progress. The antimatter reactor, once a symbol of conflict and ambition, had become a beacon of hope and possibility. It stood as a testament to the power of human and Zentari ingenuity, the strength of their partnership, and the boundless potential of exploration and discovery. The interdimensional pathways, now safeguarded and respected, opened new horizons for all civilizations. In the end, the agent's journey was not just about the reactor or the technology it represented. It was a story of growth, transformation, and the enduring power of cooperation and vision. They had faced incredible challenges, made difficult choices, and emerged stronger and wiser. Their legacy would live on, not just in the advancements they had made, but in the spirit of unity and hope they had inspired. As they looked to the future, they knew that their story was far from over. New worlds awaited exploration, new challenges beckoned, and the quest for knowledge and understanding continued. They were ready to embrace whatever lay ahead, confident in their ability to face it together. The antimatter reactor, the crystal key, and the interdimensional pathways were all part of their journey, a journey that had only just begun.